Hi, so we're back again. I'm talking with a couple of the participants who took the online HSP course. We're recording these in small segments. So we just stopped the last segment and started, and I asked everybody, what are some things that you want to talk about that you feel like are important that I'm not asking you about? And so Melissa gave some information, and so we were joking, but it's the most authentic thing I can do. So tell me what it was that I did during the course that made it really helpful for you. I mean, what I said between recording is, tell me how amazing I am. But this is really as a result of something that you had shared. So go ahead, Melissa.
Right. So I think the thing that was so amazing was that you've done your work. You know this, you know HSP, what it is to be an HSP inside and out. You are one. And so your ability to be able to hear us in a way that I think I certainly never heard myself. And you know, when we're hedging and we're silencing voices, that comes from people not accepting our the way we come into the world, or with the way we present in the world as HSPs. So I really, your true brilliance, and I'm not getting paid for this or anything, but genuinely, I your brilliance is being able to hear people, what they're saying and what they're not saying, you know, HSPs, and to call us on it and give voice to those parts of us that society, just the way our culture is, that generally silences those voices and tries to dampen our sensitivity. And so you're kind of helping, you help me blossom as an HSP, because you you've been there and you know what it's like, and you're able to call out those parts that, you know, our culture has told us are not okay, but we can blossom in a way that we're actually very useful to everyone
Mm.
themselves.
I'm having a mix, like part of me wants to go like, oh, it's so nice hearing this stuff. And then I feel like maintain that professional face. So I'm just like, this is an example of, I'm struggling with that. Like, do I genuinely gush or do I like, okay, thank you very much.
Well,
Can,
see, that's one of the nice things, is that you are so good at sharing where you're genuinely out, whether it's what you're supposed to be doing or not. And that's such a good example.
Oh, thanks. So I want to
Mhm.
ask for clarification because I heard you use the word call out, like I would call out things.
Oh,
And
right.
that brings up a connotation for me. So I just am wondering if other people have that also. So can you talk a little bit more about what that looked like or felt like for you?
Well, you would actually ask us if it's okay if you call, or if you brought something up. It was never, you're always so gentle. I can't even remember the wording. I wish you're so good about it. I'm sure you can refresh me here, but you always made sure that we were always comfortable in what we wanted to share. Uh, that was okay. You never pushed us to overshare. There was
Did
always a very safe environment.
did either of you ever feel shame or like I was pulling the cover out or exposing something before you were ready? Like I've had people do that to me. Like I don't think I'm ready for anybody to be talking about that. So did you ever have that experience that you felt exposed in a way that felt like it was not honoring?
No, no, never,
Mm.
never. You show up, Patricia, as, authentically as you beautifully are, and that gives us permission to do the same. So I never felt shame. I never felt blame. I felt like I could just show up the way I was and be, I think if I may, Melissa, you said call out, but I think you're really observant in knowing what's going on. And I think you draw out what we want to say, but we're afraid. We were
Yeah.
afraid to, or we were embarrassed to. And so you have a gentle persuading um, way about you that it made us feel safe and welcome to show up
Mm.
and what's going on and how we're working through those things. And then what was also so beautiful is that the other members of our group would also chime in. And then, you have that much more support and authenticity, in the group. So it felt really, really safe. And I think that's important for an HSP.
Yeah. Yeah, call
Yeah.
out probably isn't the best way to put it. maybe draw out, but that almost sounds
Yeah.
manipulative. I don't know. You just create a safe space, and you helped give voice to, parts that I was told were
Hmm.
not that. And I can use them now in a constructive way, and because the more I suppress those voices, the more they control my behavior. So it's really been lovely.
Hmm. So I feel like I'm getting a love bath. I mean, I like, I'm like,
Good.
oh, I'm getting a love bath, and I love this. You know, it's interesting. I've had people say, like, I don't like doing online work. There's no connection there. I need to be in person. And I'm not negating that that's not true for people. What I hear you talking about is, as highly sensitive people, we are so observant. And I've suffered a lot. I've done a lot of my own work. And because of that, I feel hyper aware of, like what I'm imagining might be going on in someone's head. I can pick up people's body movements, or if it looks like they're not responding. So for me personally, I don't find the online connection to be a barrier. I feel like sometimes people feel even more comfortable because they're in their own environments, they're relaxed. I just feel an amazing sense of connection. I feel like what you both shared just really spoke to that. And I think that that's part of what the gift of having the group is. I feel like I'm talking more than I wanted you to talk. So my gremlins are going off right now. So this is how I do it. I guess maybe what I'll do is turn it back to you of, how was it being in a group of, because this is not our whole group. I think there were a total of 6 of us in your group. How was that being in a group of 6 people? And if you think about being in a group of 6 people, what comes up for you? And then how was it being in a group of 6 HSPs?
I think it was really fun. I think being an online course, it's really important to show up because it's easy to go, oh gosh, I have this, and the other. It's, and so making it a priority to show up and be here, and each and every week is where gain that momentum of connection and doing the work. So if you don't show up, I feel like it's not only a loss for you but a loss for the other people in the group. um so I think it's really important that if you are thinking about signing up for a course like this, is to really commit and make that a priority, because you will get so much more out of it. And I love it when we're all here. And I know, some things are unavoidable and you can't make it, but it's just such a such a joy to see it when people are showing up and being a part of the group.
Yeah. For me, I found the video format uh, lovely because I did feel like I could see, I could pick up on the social cues over the video, and I like not having. I know my husband spent he took the course too, and when he was in bed, he took the whole course in bed because that's where he felt most comfortable. I showed up however I showed up. I did not look this fancy most of the time.
Me
So
neither.
yeah, so it was nice, and I feel like I've gotten some lifelong friends out of it because we have a
Mhm.
little Marco Polo group, and we're sharing how our times are going, and it's just nice to feel like, because HSPs are only what 15 to 20% of the population,
Yeah.
kind of hard to find. And then of those 15 to 20, how many people have done their work? So finding people who are HSPs who have done the work can be challenging. So it's nice to be able to cherry pick all around the country, all around the world, and get a group of people who are interested in doing the work and are having the same aha moments along with you.
Yeah,
So
and
I
and your group has chosen to stay in touch via Marco Polo, which is an app that I've talked about. Another group decided to, they're going to continue on Zoom calls, and they created a Facebook group. So every group has a very different flavor. And I want to go back to something that you said, Shelley, just to clarify that every group, somebody missed at least, like people were not able to make all the groups. Sometimes people turn the video off. That the other thing about this course is you get out of it what you put into it, and it's really about self-care. So if that means that you need to take care of yourself and not show up on video or not show up to group, or you have to miss, like, you will still benefit from the course. And so I know that we often will like, well, I know I'm not going to be able to make, one or two of the things. I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't take it.
Right.
That you will get exactly what you need from it. And that if anything, this is really about you learning how to honor what your needs are. And if that means that you don't come one week, or you eat, or you come late, or you leave early, that's really okay.
So I felt that support, even though I didn't make it. I felt awful not being able to be there, but I felt like it was still okay.
Yeah, well, we tend to
was
have these
important. That was
really high
helpful.
expectations. And so that's the other part of the modeling of that. It's really okay for you to be wherever you're at, to show up however you're at. That's a little bit about the HST online groups. If you have any questions, you can go to unapologeticallysensitive.com. Go to the HSP group page if you want to reach out to me if you have any questions. You can reach me at unapologeticallysensitive@gmail.com. All right, thanks for being here today. Bye.